Howdy, I'm Flowey KOBK, and today I'm going to continue with my Chick-fil-A confessions. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my absolute worst pet peeves at Chick-fil-A. And first, I'm going to go with pet peeves on front counter. Now, front counter, don't get me wrong, it's a wonderful place. You can talk to people. People are really nice. But some people aren't exactly the sharpest knives in the drawer when it comes to ordering at Chick-fil-A. Because literally, you walk into Chick-fil-A and the menu board is right up there. It's right there. And the text isn't exactly hard to read. It's right there in front of them. And they'll order, like, can I get a number 7, which is like a grilled sandwich with lettuce and tomato. And no pickles. I'll say, can I get a number 7 with pickles, but fried chicken instead, and American cheese? So essentially, you want the number 2, sir. No, I want the number 7. I want the number 7 with the fried chicken and American cheese and pickles. But sir, that's the number 2. Because number 2 is the deluxe, regular sandwich. And it was just really funny. You just want the number 2 on a regular bun? Or a grilled bun? No, I want the regular bun too. Okay. But it was just silly stuff like that on front counter that drove me nuts. And then the fact that whenever I was on front counter, I felt like I was like one of the main people to actually stock things on front counter. And everybody else would get to like have fun and joke around when we were slow and we didn't have customers. They would just joke around with other coworkers. And then as soon as I tried to jump in and joke around and be like, oh, you can go stock this or you can go stock that. And I got to the point where I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stock everything all the time. Like, I'm gonna always stock everything, make sure everything's fully stocked. And I just get myself busy, and I stopped really trying to joke around unless there was absolutely nothing to do. Which, that was like, very, very rarely did that happen at Chick-fil-A. Because, as Gary always said, if there's time to lean, there's time to clean. Which was another thing that drove me nuts about front counter, is that the counters were always covered in sticky soda. Like, especially the tea counters. Like, the tea counters always had tea on them, and I was constantly wiping the tea up, and it just drove me nuts. And the fact that there was a bucket of sanitizer water on front counter that we used to clean the lobby and clean the counters, and it was always filthy. No one ever cleaned it except for me and another guy named Steve who did lobby. We were the only 2 people to ever change the water out, like, ever. And I got so used to it that I had like a method to it. I knew exactly how to carry the bucket back, fill it with water, put the stuff in there, carry it back without spilling a single drop every single time. And it was actually kind of funny because I was like the only one who ever did it. Sauces. Whenever you go get boxes in the back to stock sauces, every now and then the sauces would explode inside the box. So you had to sit on front counter and literally sift the box to see what sauces aren't broken. And then after a while you get Chick-fil-A sauce and barbecue sauce in your fingers and you start to hate the smell of it. It just becomes really nauseating and you're like, ugh, I don't want to, ew, it's so gross, no. But it was one of the things that really drove me crazy on front counter. And that's just front counter. So, not smart people, messes that no one cleaned up, stocking, and then just a bucket of water. Those things just drove me nuts on front counter. And the lobby, I could literally go on for like 2 days and tell you all my pet peeves in the lobby. The lobby was like my domain. That's like where I worked, like every single day. Like, that was my favorite place to work, even though there was so much that was wrong with it. It wasn't even funny. Like, first of all, there are 5 trash cans. Well, there were. I don't know how many there are now. I think there's more than 5 actually at Chick-fil-A. There are 5 trash cans when I worked there at Chick-fil-A. 5, okay? There were 2 giant ones by the doors. 2 big giant trash cans by the doors. And then there were 3 smaller ones. Oh, I'm sorry, not 2 giant ones. 2 smaller ones and then 3 giant ones. And no matter how full the ones by the doors were, and how empty the big ones that weren't by the doors were, people insisted on overflowing the 2 by the doors and leaving the other ones empty. Every single time. And I don't know how hard it is to explain to you how frustrating it is to go over there every single time and take those 2 trash cans out day in and day out and constantly sweep the trash off the top of the freaking lobby trash can and put it inside, because people don't actually put it inside. It's like a little countertop with like a built-in trash can inside. And you open the cabinet and you pull the trash can out, take the bag out, and you take it out. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know, like any really restaurant you go to and there's like a little hole there. That's basically what it was. And people would just sit there and pile trash up until it was like literally flowing all over the countertop. And it's like, use the hole! And if it's full, use the other 3 trash cans that are empty. Like, it's common sense. It was so annoying. It It was so funny and so annoying at the same time. It's like people are really that lazy that they can't walk over to the freaking trash can and put stuff inside. Oh my gosh, that was just the trash cans. And then the freaking tables, people would leave their trays there for like 20 minutes. And they'd just be gone, and you would have to like wait and make sure they're not coming back. And they would just leave food there too. It wasn't even just like trash. If I just saw a tray of trash in there and there was no food, I would have just thrown it away anyway, because there's no reason to keep it there unless you need napkins for something. So I just throw it away. But sometimes there'd be a tray there with like a half thing of fries sitting there, and the person's already left, and they just left their trash there. And I don't know if you're done. I don't know, because I'm not a server. I don't like go around the tables and like constantly check in with you guys. Like, I don't know if you're done. Like, if you just leave your if your stuff sitting there and you're just sitting there, I had to wait for like a good 20 minutes before I'm allowed to throw that stuff away, because if you, God forbid, you come back and I've thrown your food away, now I have to refund you and get you free food, and that's not good on my part. So I had to sit there and wait for people who didn't throw their trash away, because Chick-fil-A isn't like, we have customer service, but we're not like a freaking actual restaurant, like a restaurant where you go in and they give you menus and you order. We're not like that. We're still a fast food restaurant. I mean, it's still considered fast food. We do have pretty good customer service, and we are very polite and very, you know, caring about our customers, but we're not like ones to just do what actual restaurants do. So whenever that happened, I just get like really annoyed. And then people in front counter would ask you for like 5 or 6 packets of sauce. Like, can I get like 6 Chick-fil-A sauce for like 8 of these nuggets, even though I'm probably gonna use 1. And in your mind, you're like, they're only gonna use 1 sauce, but you have to give them what they want. And the sauces are free unless you get the tub ones, and those ones cost money. So you have to give them their sauces. And then when you go clean their table later on, all their sauces are still sitting there untouched. Or they open all of them and use like a dip from each one. Even if they're the same sauce, people do that. They would just sit there, they'd have like 6 separate Chick-fil-A sauces open, and they would dip like 1 time in each one. And it was really annoying. Or they'd have all of them closed and just laying there on the counter. If you use, or you don't use sauces or napkins at Chick-fil-A, do everybody a huge favor and put them back where you got them, please. Bring them to the front counter and say, hey, I didn't use these, I didn't open them. You can put them back. Napkins. That's another thing. Again, people would take a napkin stack this thick for 2 people or 1 person, and they would use like 3 of the napkins and leave the stack on the table. It's like the napkin dispenser's literally right there. Put them back. I mean, if your hands are greasy, that's fine. Come get somebody and be like, hey, I didn't use these. But don't leave them on the table. That's just, oh, it was so annoying. So many small things like that. The freaking floors were always messy. People didn't clean the floors up. Kids would spill their drinks everywhere, which I understand they're kids, and they spill their drinks, and it happens. But then they just leave. They don't tell anybody about it. They leave a milkshake mess on the floor, and then the floor gets sticky, and then I have to get the mop it from the back and scrub the floors, and that's annoying. And there was one time, I'm not even lying to you guys, there was one time in lobby where someone had literally gone to the boys' bathroom, the men's room, and had pooped next to the toilet. Right next to it, on the floor. They didn't poop in it. They pooped, it's like they were like, screw this place, I'm just gonna take a squat and poop right here. Like, what the frick were you thinking? What are you thinking? Oh my gosh, it was so stupid and so ridiculously annoying. And I know you're probably like, why are you talking about this kind of stuff? Because it's funny. To be completely honest, it's absolutely funny to talk about. Now, it's our lobby freaking pet peeves. And then there were stocking pet peeves that I had. People would get things from the back, like they bring like a box up to unpack stuff, and they put it back where it didn't go. Or they'd empty a box out and leave it on the shelf. Especially the salad dressings. Let me tell you about this, okay? I had a pathological fear of the back fridge, because I always, even though it's pretty much impossible for it to happen, I always had a pathological paranoid fear that one day that fridge, when it shut behind me, it was gonna lock and I was gonna be trapped in the fridge. So I don't want to be in there anyway for any long period of time without the door being propped open. So people think it's a wonderful idea to empty the boxes of dressings, like they have like little packets of dressings in this big box, and they're really freaking heavy too, and they're stacked up on the top shelf. They think it's a great idea to leave the ones in the lower shelf completely empty and just leave them on the shelf, so when someone else goes back there to get more dressings and the box is empty, they have to take the box out, break it down, go up, get a step ladder, and get the heavy box and bring it down, instead of just doing it themselves when they did it. Like, if you use all of something, get more. Don't just leave it empty. Oh gosh, that was so annoying. But those are some Chick-fil-A pet peeves. I could probably go on forever. I really probably could. There was so many of them. It was ridiculous. Like I said, I love my job at Chick-fil-A. It was still fun times. I still had really cool, awesome coworkers, and it was still a good time. So I really, really enjoyed it. And if you guys want to work at a fast food restaurant, I highly recommend Chick-fil-A because it's probably the nicest community people ever, and it's like the coolest and most best food you can taste in fast food ever. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Love, Flowey, your very best friend.